this was like the worst challenge ever. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Mariah and I do recaps and reviews, and now I am back with another challenge chat where I talk about the most recent episode of the challenge, Double Agents on MTV. Sorry this video is going up so late this week. It's just been a crazy week for my family and I. My fiance's family dog actually had to get put down this week, so we kind of took an extra few days just to like say our goodbyes and spend time with family. So I haven't necessarily been in the mood to film a video, but I did watch the episode the night it aired, took some notes, and finally am getting around to making my video. The good thing about waiting a few days after this week is that there has been some more details that have come out about this past week's episode, mainly like related to drama about Tori, Fessy, and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to touch on that in this video, so let's get into it. Hey guys, editing Mariah here. So I apologize in advance for the shitty lighting in this video. I had to film in my basement and I thought the lighting was gonna hold up, but the sun hasn't been out at all today, but it started getting really dark as I was filming this, and my camera settings are on auto because even though I have a really nice camera, I don't really know the manual settings yet, and so they were on auto, so the footage is just really grainy. So I apologize for that. I will definitely fix it for next time. If you have any tips for me on how to fix the settings to adjust to poor lighting conditions, I would gladly appreciate the feedback. So again, apologies. I'll fix it next time. So I thought this episode did kind of start off in a weird place. So one of my other favorite channels that I watched, Angel Cake Entertainment, he pointed out in his video that the editing in this week's challenge was just kind of weird, and I definitely agree. So it just seemed kind of out of nowhere that Fessy and this whole Fessy and Tori thing is just starting to come into play. So I'm wondering if maybe some stuff had started to be talked about on social media, and so the producers kind of maybe did a last minute editing switch or something like that. But the episode pretty much like started off talking about Fessy and Tori, and like Fessy liking Tori or having his eyes on Tori and things like that. And then it even showed Corey in one of his interviews saying, I think something's going on there. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. So this episode is just starting off with like a bunch of drama, which is kind of like weird. So the last episode, we finished with the elimination, the new partners, and now we start off with everyone back in the house and this drama is just happening. One thing I liked about this episode was that they kind of touched on Big T's backstory, which I liked because we don't really know a ton about her. I know this isn't her first season, but it was nice just to learn a little bit more about her. And she was kind of talking to Devin and Amber and a few other people. But then I thought it was weird that this nice moment was kind of ruined by Devin just kind of shit talking Amber essentially. And it seemed like it just came out of nowhere. So going back to that whole editing thing, I just don't know what really built up to this. And so it just seems so like choppy. Like, why does Devin have a problem with Amber? I don't know. It just seemed kind of out of nowhere. And so I'm kind of confused about that. I would like to know kind of more of the backstory on why they don't like each other. Liv at this point didn't know her status in the game. She's still in the house, but clearly with an injury. So that was kind of weird to me too, because Nicole, when she got hurt, she was pretty much out of there right away. And then Liv is kind of just hanging out. So there's all these kind of like weird things happening right now in the house, including Josh being a little sus of Jay. So he's just kind of like talking and he's like, I just don't really know if I trust Jay. He just seems kind of suspicious. And I'm like, what are you even talking about? Like, so there's just so many things that are just not adding up to me at this point. It just seemed like it's not making sense coming off of where we left off at the previous week's episode. Comes time to do the daily challenge. We do find out that Liv is gone. Michi will find out his partner at the next elimination. So let's get into the daily mission, which happened to be a drone game. Mission is called Drone Control. So another fun fact, so something good about waiting a few days to film, is I guess they did have a drone tutorial, like they were able to have practice the day before. I heard this in an after interview. I think Tori was talking about it, where the only reason she was even confident enough to fly the drone and have Devin do the puzzle is because they had the practice the day before. And so they did have a tutorial, so they kind of knew that their challenge at some point, or their next challenge, was going to involve a drone. So this challenge, what they had to do was pretty much fly a drone and try to find the puzzle, find the code, remember that code, and then unlock some. Now this is taking place in like some underground lava tunnels, which I do remember seeing this on the Super trailer, I believe. So I thought it was like going to be a cave of some sort. So then I found out, okay, they're just like flying a drone down here, which is still cool looking, but it's not as extreme, I guess, as I thought the challenge was going to be when I first saw it on the trailer. One player is going to be controlling the drone. The other player is going to be the eyes. So there's a camera attached to the drone, and the other partner is going to have goggles on, and they are seeing what the drone is seeing. So essentially that person is going to be guiding their partner and telling them, you know, which way to go, how to control the drone, and they're trying to find that code. Once they have the code memorized, they'll solve their puzzle. And so I'm like, okay, well, you know, can't be too difficult, right? Well, this was like the worst challenge ever. Like literally, I don't even have to go into detail. Everyone failed except Tori and Devin. I'm pretty sure the best part of this challenge was TJ cracking up the entire time. In a way, it kind of sucked because some of these people would, you know, they would start the challenge and crash almost right away, and then it's like, oh, it's over. So I almost wish they either had like a couple chances and then they would like tally up their total time or something like that. Or they just had a different way to go about this, just because it was so boring, and literally Tori and Devin were the only team to even complete it. So there was really just no competition. I mean, I guess, you know, the challenge isn't all just physical, but it was just still kind of boring. Shocker, Tori and Devin, who don't get along, they work well together. Awesome, they're the double agents. So now what's gonna happen? Devin pretty much has a decent strategy going into the deliberation of the week. He wants the house just to decide to throw in whoever they want, and then he'll go from there. So he's like, whoever the house wants to throw in, let them throw them in, and then we'll evaluate and we'll pick someone to throw in against the house vote. And we'll make that decision based on whoever gets thrown in, whether it's going to be us or whether it's going to be someone else. Of course, remember, Devin just earned his gold skull. So I'm sure he's not necessarily thinking like, yeah, we're gonna throw ourselves in. But of course, Tori is definitely wanting to go in. So she wants to earn her gold skull so she can run the final. And right away she's thinking, okay, well maybe if Nelson and Amber M go in, then I could go against little Amber. So I kind of see this thing starting where Tori is thinking she wants to go against someone small. So right away in my head, based on past episodes and editing and things, I'm thinking like, okay, maybe Tori's going to get a chance to go against her and then lose, because that's what happened last time when she went against Jenna and she lost against Jenna, even though Jenna's not weak or small or anything like that. But sometimes when they show players being very confident, they end up going home later that episode. So sometimes you have to watch out for that editing. So that's kind of where my head was at this exact moment. So Tori's just kind of keeping in mind that she might want to go in, and Devin is kind of just trying to take it slow and say, let's just see what happens. So Devin is not doing any politicking or anything crazy like that, but he is kind of thinking, I wouldn't mind throwing down Josh and Nani though, because Josh is just getting on my nerves. Devin just doesn't like Josh, and Josh really doesn't like Devin. So Josh in his mind is like, okay, there could be a chance I could get thrown in. I could be the house vote. Maybe Devin is trying to convince everyone to throw me in. Or maybe Devin and Tori are gonna throw me in because Tori just came up to me and told me so. And that's what is so tricky about this game. When you're paired up with all these different people, you and your player are not playing the same game. So Tori, being good friends with Josh or being civil enough with Josh, went up to him and said, hey, my partner Devin is thinking about throwing you guys in. So Josh is like, okay, well, if I was going to get thrown in by the double agents, who would I want to be the house vote? So Josh kind of seems like he's scheming in his mind, at least in my opinion. Because if you guys watch the episode, you see him kind of go off on Jay, seemingly out of nowhere. I mean, he goes up to Jay and kind of just calls him out and says, dude, I don't know if I trust you. Like, you seem, I don't know if you're with me. You seem suspicious. And Jay is just like sitting there like, what? Like, what are you even talking about? Like, where is this coming from? Well, in my head, and in my opinion, Josh is trying to plant seeds of doubt in the house in Jay. He's trying to point out that Jay is suspicious. Like, And especially with his close alliance, like Casey in the Big Brother cast, he's like, I don't know about Jay. And I think it's because Jay is smaller than Josh. If the house throws in Josh and Teresa, his partner, as the house vote, and then if Devin throws in Josh to the elimination, Josh thinks he can beat Jay. So that's what I think he's doing in this situation. But I also think he's really overreacting and it's coming out of nowhere. If you watch the episode, and I'll kind of insert a screenshot here, he's just coming off very confrontational in my opinion, and it just seems like it's, I don't know, it just seems like it's not necessary. And Jay is literally just like, like what? And then Jay, you know, he's not backing down, but he's also not getting in his face. He's very calm and he's just like, dude, like, I'm not scared of you. But he's also like, I'm with you. So I don't get what your problem is. Like, what can I say and do to make you trust me? Like, I'm just living, like, I'm just here. I'm on your side. I don't know why I need to like keep bending over backwards trying to freaking prove myself to you. So when it comes to the deliberation time, it seems like it can go either way. The house doesn't necessarily say they're gonna go one way or the other. You know, they don't show every single vote when they show the deliberation. So we see some people voting in Nelson and Amber M. We see some people voting in Anissa and Fessy, which I think are just a couple burn votes, but you never know because sometimes burn votes turn into real votes and then that's who gets voted in. And then I did see a couple votes for Jay and Teresa as well. But in the end, the compromised agents going into elimination for sure were Nelson and Amber M. The reason why I kept just thinking it was maybe going to end up being a girls' elimination, even though it wouldn't really make as much sense because TJ said Michi's partner would be determined at the next elimination, meaning he's going to be paired up with a girl. So clearly a guy partner was going home, which why didn't that really resonate with the cast? I don't know. They just kept talking about Amber M over and over again. Nelson even stuck up for her saying, I don't know why you guys are like even thinking about voting us in. Like, you know, she might be small, but she's tough. It just kept making it seem like it was building to something that might be a twist and be a girls' elimination for some reason. That's just how I was thinking of it when I was watching the episode. But when it comes time for the elimination, they all walk in. You see it set up. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's a hall brawl. So I'm like, oh, it's going down. And I remember from the super trailer, I remember seeing Nelson in the hall brawl. And I'm pretty sure I watched, again, I think it was Angel Cake Entertainment's super trailer breakdown. I think it showed Nelson versus Fessy in the hall brawl. So I was already kind of thinking in my head, or it might not have shown Nelson versus Fessy, but I think it did show a hall brawl with Fessy and then separately a hall brawl with Nelson. So in my head I'm thinking, I'm wondering if these are related or if they're two separate hall brawls or what. I wasn't for sure. So when it comes time, I really did not know what was going to happen. I haven't watched spoilers or anything like that. I didn't know. But Josh was getting pumped up. Like, Josh seemed in the zone. You know, Devin and Josh don't really get along. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, it makes sense to throw Josh down. But I didn't really know how close like Nany and Tori are. And if Tori would want to throw down Nany. But I wasn't sure. And I also didn't know if Tori wanted to go down herself. Because if it's a hall brawl and Tori versus Amber M, I'm not saying Tori would for sure beat her because you really never know. But Tori would at least feel confident enough to have a chance. So if it was a hall brawl that was a girls' elimination, Tori was like, yeah, I'm going to go down. But TJ would not clarify for her. So he said, you never know. You guys are either coming down or you're not. And why the heck would Devin come down in another elimination, especially a hall brawl, when he already earned his gold skull? So he says, no, Tori, like, we're passing. No. So they pass and they send in Anissa and Fessy, and Tori says they're doing their friends a solid. So remember that. They're doing their friends a solid. So I'm like, okay. I know Tori and Anissa are friends. They actually have a podcast too, so that kind of makes sense. They're friends. Oh, she's also giving Anissa a chance to earn her gold skull, but then also Fessy a chance. It just seems so strange that Fessy would want to earn a skull right now against Nelson. Because I thought him, Nelson, and Corey were like a solid 3 alliance before anyone else in the house. Like, I know Fessy's with Big Brother cast too, but I thought Corey, Nelson, and Fessy were aligned. And in the subtitles on the episode, you know, Tori even says it's Nelly. And He's like, okay, send me in. Oh boy, here comes the drama for real. If you are not keeping up with tweets during the episode, you need to watch them. If you aren't following the cast on Instagram, sometimes they tweet or sometimes they put stuff out after, and it's just a mess right now. So, messy Fessy, for sure. Yeah. Long story short, the hall brawl. It's intense, it's dirty, and Fessy beats Nelson after a very intense first round, and it's best out of 3, but Fessy just got him both times. Fessy was playing dirty, kind of grabbing the face mask, just seemed to be really rough and tough. And this is kind of controversial. Some people are saying, you know, it's $1 million. You have to do whatever you can to win. Some people are saying that he played really dirty. In my opinion, he was playing dirty, especially because after the first round, TJ said, Fessy, you know, no more playing dirty. So in my opinion, sometimes people get, you know, disqualified, or they have to do a rematch of a round because of a technicality like that. So if you're saying to stop the dirty play, then why did Fessy technically get that first point, you know? So I'm just kind of wondering, you know, if that would have made a difference. So I don't know. I'm just like, I honestly have never been a fan of Nelson until last season when he went in to elimination, a hall brawl again, for Corey and lost. And then now he's going home again and got beat by a friend. And I literally was like tearing up when he was leaving. And I'm like, what is going on? I don't like Nelson. But now I do like Nelson. And I wish Fessy was going home. And last season I was rooting for Fessy. And even when I watched his Big Brother season, I was rooting for Fessy. So I'm just like, it's just crazy how people can change, or your perceptions of people can change. And Fessy on social media has just been like, oh, I'm not reading the comments. People are gonna hate. I'm doing me. And just the way that he's acting on social media is giving me vibes like he wins this season. Do not tell me if he does, please. This is a no spoilers page, and I don't want to ruin it for other people, but just the way he's being so cocky makes me feel like he wins this season. Or he wins, like, or he at least makes the final, and it's really irritating me because I don't want him to win. And I totally forgot, since Fessy wins now, he gets to choose a new partner. I don't know why that freaking lost me. I totally forgot. And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm thinking, well, him and Anissa have been doing so good, so maybe I'll be shocked and he'll keep Anissa as a partner. But nope. He picks Casey, his Big Brother Alliance member. I'm thinking, okay, so he wants another strong female on his team. And I'm like, okay, I guess not a bad choice. But at the same time, I mean, you think you would want your alliances kind of like spread out onto other teams, and maybe he's thinking just long term, if me and Casey can ride it till the end, we'll be really good in the final together. But I don't know. That's who he picked. So then Anissa had to pick either Michi or Leroy, who was Casey's old partner. She picks Leroy. So I think that's a decent coupling too, Leroy and Anissa. And then Michi is therefore stuck with Amber N. So we'll see how that goes from here. So for memorable moments, I put earlier Nelson saying that Amber was crying about Devin. So in the very beginning of the episode, Nelson like went into Devin's room and was like, Devin, like, why are you making Amber cry? Why are you making Amber cry? I thought that was kind of weird. Like, again, it's like, why are you trying to blow something up and make it something when it's not? When clearly Amber M kind of just seemed like unbothered by it, to be honest. So that was kind of memorable. I put another memorable moment was just Fessy playing dirty in the elimination round. Then a memorable moment I said was Corey kind of scoping out this whole Tori and Fessy drama. As most of you probably know, Tori and Jordan have since broken up. They were previously engaged, and she was still engaged on this season from what we've been told by her, but she recently came out in an interview and said that her and Jordan were technically together when she came on the show, but they were hoping to repair the relationship just by some distance. You know, just hoping they would repair their relationship when they came home and have everything just be strengthened. You know, sometimes they say absence makes the heart grow fonder. Quarantine time had been kind of tough on them, so she was hoping the distance would do them good. Then Jordan came out and said, this is news to me. So I don't know exactly what's going on, who's telling the truth or what. So there's some drama going on with that. I don't know. And then I also believe that Fessy and Haley, his ex from Big Brother, were broken up before this season. But then I just saw on Twitter today, when I was going through some tweets, that allegedly they maybe were still together when he came on this season. But I'm pretty sure even earlier, like the first episode of this season, he said he was single. I mean, if he was with someone, why would he be like, you know, hitting on all these girls on national television? So in my opinion, he was probably single, had already ended his relationship with Haley before he came on the show. Tori, it sounds like her and Jordan were still together when she came on the show. She stands by her statement that she didn't cheat on Jordan. So we will see. Sounds like Jordan's upset that she's been doing interviews about it. But sometimes I think Jordan can be manipulative. So I don't really know. Oh, I did want to say Nelson did a live chat or did a live interview with Wes on Instagram the night of the episode. So make sure you follow Wes's Instagram because he seems to be doing like weekly Instagram lives. And Nelson was kind of shading Josh a little bit about the elimination. So he said to stay tuned for the reunion because he thinks that Josh actually never planned to go in against him in the first place. He thinks it was like all a setup and that he actually didn't want to go in against him, even though Josh was like kind of pretending to be pumped up and stuff. So we'll see about that. For Alliance updates, I guess really right now my only update is that I'm pretty sure Corey and Fessy are done. I mean, why would Corey want to be aligned with Fessy after what just happened? So my prediction obviously is that Corey is not going to want to work with Fessy anymore. However, I'm wondering if that kind of puts Corey at a disadvantage because then he kind of doesn't have that larger umbrella of the Big Brother group. So I will be eager to see who Corey is going to kind of start working with moving forward. I'm wondering maybe like Jay, Leroy. And lastly, I just wanted to add a new section on today, which is just like the top tweets of the episode, which I think is just funny. So someone said, not Josh wanting to go against Nelson when Jordan beat him at tug of war with one fucking hand. Funny. Ashley said, I think some people forget this is a long game sometimes. You need your friends. You need your alliances, not just this season, but every season. I think that's totally true. Fessy seems like he's screwing himself. Just like Jay said, he was making dumb decisions. I do agree. I know he's doing everything he can to earn himself the $1 million, but I mean, it could come down to alliances in the end. So, sorry, had to change my memory card. This one says, me sending a prayer that Corey gets revenge on Fessy for Nelson. I like that one. And then Wes had said, this week in challenge news, Fessy didn't read any comments. Gus got jewelry in his teeth. Lee opened a barber shop. Nelson doubled down on OnlyFans. And then this one says, gosh, OMG, do you see his energy? Jay, literally just sitting there. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for this week's challenge chat. Sorry, I just kind of feel like not as put together this week, but it's been a rough week. So I'm hoping next week will be better. I'm hoping my quality will improve. I'm working on getting a new microphone, a ring light. So working on improving my content. But until then, thank you for sticking with me and thank you for checking out my channel. If you want to see more challenge chats, reactions, or reviews, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.